Dear Bess, remember Майя Уэн from high school? I'm visiting her in St. Louis. We have tickets to tonight's premiere of the new Bрэdi Armstronga. Okay, in this game, your mission is to solve the mystery. Step into my shoes. You'll be my eyes and ears and choose what I do. Get ready, because there's a lot to do. When you're in the center of a room, you can turn around in a circle to see the whole room. Move your cursor to the left or right edge of the screen. An arrow will appear that allows you to turn in that direction when you click on it. A forward arrow allows you to advance in the direction you want to go. Likewise, a back arrow allows you to take a step back. Sometimes up and down arrows will be available too. Give it a try. Find the forward arrow and take a step over to that round table to see what's there. I always carry my magnifying glass with me to scan for clues. When it turns red, I know I'm onto something. Move your mouse until the magnifying glass turns red, and then click to zoom in. See what I mean? The magnifying glass is quite a handy tool. When it turns red, you can use it to open and close things, pick up objects, and move things around. When you want to go back to where you came from or turn around, find where your cursor turns into a U-turn at the bottom of the screen and click. Take a few steps over to the desk. There you will find my room card key. All right. When you find something useful in the game, you can pick it up and carry it around with you. Want to try? Pick up the key. Good work. You're a natural. To use one of these objects, just move your mouse over it in the toolbox on the right and click on it. See how your cursor turns into that item? Then you can click on the area where you want to use it. Is that everything? Oh, I almost forgot one of the most important detective skills. You know, questioning suspects. In the game, you can talk to the people you meet. The conversation will appear in the text box next to the toolbox. The words of the person you're talking to will be in blue, and my replies will be in white. Select a question or a reply by clicking on it, and listen to what your suspect says next. Give it a try.
Hello there. What brings you to Whitford Castle?
I'm hoping for a career change. My dream is to get into the hotel business. If there are a lot of words in the text box, you know how some people can talk. Those bars to the right move up and down so that you can read along. Okay, we're almost done. If you make a major mistake, say you fall off a roof or blow something up, you can select Second Chance from the main menu to get back to where you were before you goofed. And if you get stuck or feel like talking to someone you know you can trust, you can always call Bess and George or Ned. So that's it. You're ready to tackle the case. I'll return you to the player challenge screen where you can start the game. Junior detective is not quite as tough as the senior level, so you might want to start there. You never know what you'll turn up in the game, so be sure to explore. Don't forget to trust your instincts and have fun. Good luck. Dear Bess, remember Майя Уэн from high school? I'm visiting her in St. Louis. We have tickets to tonight's premiere of the new Bрэdi Armstronga movie, Vanishing Destiny. It's the last screening ever at the Rojal Palladium. This place has been a landmark for almost a century, and now in just 3 days, it's going to be demolished. I wish I could have seen the theater back in the 20s before it was turned into a movie house. All the great magicians performed here, even Harry Houdini. There's a lot of public opposition to the loss of this historic building. Rumor has it local activists are planning to stage a big protest out front tonight. The theater will be closed when we arrive, but they'll let us in since Maya is covering the story for the university newspaper. Oh boy, a press pass sure does come in handy. Maya told me she has an interesting lead, and we're on our way to interview Bрэdi Armstronga about the controversy now. I know he's one of your favorite stars. Stay tuned. Maya always gets the full scoop. Talk to you soon. Love, Nancy.
Okay, Nancy, here I go. Cross your fingers, there's a story behind this door.
Go get 'em, Scoop.
Meet you in the lobby.
Testing. Testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. Is this thing on? Hello?
Think I'll go check out the snacks. That sounds like Maya. Help! Nancy! Hello?
Listen carefully. If they knock the theater down, the girl goes with it.
What? Who is this? Hello? Hello? You'll never get away with this. Do you hear me?
Hello?
You're messing with the wrong girls, whoever you are. She's a reporter and I'm a detective, and we don't scare easy.
This is Joseph Hughes, the caretaker. I'm looking for Bрэdi Armstronga. He said he'd be there. Who's this? And what's all the excitement?
My friend has disappeared from Brady's dressing room. I heard her scream. I think she's been kidnapped.
Now, please try to calm down and tell me what's going on. What's your name, dear?
My name is Nэнsi Дрю. Майя Уэн is my friend, and she's gone. I was out in the hall when I heard her scream. I don't know how they could have taken her.
Disappeared from the men's dressing room? What makes you think she was taken?
I just received a threatening call saying if I don't stop the theater demolition, I'll never see her again.
Well, they must have taken her through that secret passageway. Holy smokes! And you're on an inside line. That call must have come from inside the building. We gotta act quick. You check out the secret passageway. I'll make sure all the exits are locked, and then I'll come find you.
Hey, you. No groupies in the dressing rooms. But since you're such a rascally fan, what would you say to a signed autograph from yours truly?
I beg your pardon?
Take a breath and pinch yourself because it's really happening. Bрэdi Armstronga in the flesh. Star of Vanishing Destiny? Go ahead, faint. I'll catch you.
Yeah. I came with my friend Maya to see the premiere tonight. I'm Nancy. Maya was just here a minute ago. Did you see her?
Remind me not to appoint you president of my fan club. So what was your friend doing in my dressing room?
Weren't you expecting her? I thought she emailed you to set up an interview for her article.
All my email go through Simone. She reads it, she writes back. Control issues, you know? Off the record, any message that says love Bрэdi is just a big electronic smooch from her.
Simone, is that your agent?
Simone Mueller, CEO of my life. My agent. Focus on being wholesomely smoldering, she says, and leave the rest to me. So I do. She's been setting up Premiere HQ in the women's dressing room. Haven't you heard her snarling at people on the phone?
I wonder if she knows anything about what happened to Maya.
Maybe you better tell me what's going on here.
I heard Maya scream. When I got here, she was gone, vanished. And then I got a creepy phone call from the kidnapper.
But where could they have taken her? What did they say?
It's something to do with the demolition of the theater. The voice said, if they knock the theater down, the girl goes with it.
Those stinking radicals.
What radicals?
They're the ones who are flipping out over saving this theater. Nicholas Falcone and his tree hugger pals.
Listen, Maya's in trouble and I've got to act fast.
Sure thing. How can I help?
She may still be in the building. We've got to search this place from top to bottom.
Roger.
It's locked.
I may have to cut this short, Hal. Someone just climbed out of my wardrobe.
Can't you see I'm on the phone here?
My friend's been kidnapped.
Listen, sweetheart, I have a premiere tonight and no stylist for my star. So don't tell me about problems.
But this is an emergency.
I said scram.
No teeny boppers till showtime. House rules.
What's that supposed to mean?
Aren't you here to worship at the screen of Bрэdi Armstronga?
I came to see the premiere, if that's what you're asking. That doesn't make me a worshiper.
You are what you consume, and that movie's nothing but processed cheese. Every ticket sold is a vote for corporate cannibalism. And nobody cares now, but one day, abracadabra, we're gonna wake up in the United States of Generica. Who are you? And what's with the doom and gloom?
I'm Nэнsi Дрю. I think I need to call the police.
What are you calling them for? A little taste of your tax dollars going bad?
Well, you're a breath of optimism. What's this had it all about?
Haven't you heard? The battle is on. There's a human chain forming out front as we speak. But all that can wait. It's obvious you got a situation, so what's up?
My friend's been kidnapped. I've got to alert the police and then start searching this place.
Phew. Kidnapping? That's a high-profile tactic. Somebody means business. So what's the demands?
The phone call was awful. They want the demolition stopped.
No kidding. That'll blast those bureaucrats and corporate bigwigs out of their dream world. Applause for the cause. We need all the help we can get.
Excuse me? We're talking about a girl's life here.
I'm sorry. I know you're upset, but they won't mess with your friend. They just took her for effect. It's called making a statement.
A statement? They said they'll let Maya go down with the building if it gets demolished. I haven't asked her myself, but something tells me that's a statement she'd rather not make.
She'll be okay. Trust me.
How would you know?
Let's just say I know a little bit about impassioned people and their extreme measures.
Right. I need to start searching for evidence, but I'll be back with more questions for you, Nicholas.
St. Louis Police Department.
I'm calling to report a kidnapping.
Is the kidnapping in progress?
No.
Hold on, miss. I'll transfer you to the Missing Persons Unit.
Missing Persons, Sergeant Mac Ramsey speaking.
I'm calling to report a kidnapping, no longer in progress.
And who am I speaking with, please?
My name is Nэнsi Дрю.
Okay, Miss Дрю. Now, did you witness this kidnapping?
No, but I heard it.
What exactly did you hear?
My friend went into a dressing room. I was out in the hall. And I heard her scream, so I went in after her, but she was gone.
When and where did this happen?
Just now, at the Rojal Palladium Theater.
And what's your friend's name, Miss Дрю?
Maya Uwen.
Can you spell that, please?
M-A-Y-A, last name N-G-U-Y-E-N.
Age?
19.
Physical description?
She's Asian American, I guess about 5'5", long black hair.
So you didn't actually witness anything, is that right?
I heard her screaming, and I received a threatening phone call. That must count for something.
A threat. Can you describe the voice? Was it a man or a woman?
It was spooky. I think they were using some voice disguise device.
Yes. That'll make it impossible to tell the gender of the caller. Did you notice anything suspicious looking in the vicinity?
No.
No suspects. Any visible signs of struggle in the dressing room? Did your friend leave anything behind? Her purse? Anything that might have fallen out of her pockets?
No.
No evidence. Does your friend work at the theater?
No, she's a student at Washington University.
Does your friend have any enemies?
Maya? I highly doubt it.
And what business did Maya have entering the theater dressing room?
She's a reporter for the school paper. She was there to do an interview.
What about Maya's parents? Have they been contacted?
They're in Vietnam this time of year. I don't know how to contact them.
Okay, miss. I'll file this report. After 24 hours, if she hasn't turned up, we consider her a missing person and begin to investigate.
How can she turn up? She's been kidnapped.
Unlikely. With all the scuttlebutt around this demolition, this stinks of student prank.
A prank? But this building is going to be demolished in 72 hours. How can we afford to take that chance?
How do you mean?
The kidnapper must be holding her in the building, don't you think?
Unlikely. No competent kidnapper keeps their captive anywhere near the scene of the abduction. Is there anything else, Miss Drew?
Sergeant, I really don't think we can afford to wait 24 hours.
It's standard procedure, Miss Drew. Unless you can provide us with some evidence that your friend was taken by force, it's 24 hours.
Thanks, Sergeant. I'll call you back when I have the evidence.
You do that.
Bye.
Nancy, what's the 411?
The 411?
Come on, Nancy. That's vintage slang. You know, the 411, the deal, the lowdown.
Oh, the information.
Exactly.
So, humans against the destruction of illustrious theaters. Tell me about it.
This theater's a spotted owl. It's a humpback whale. It's endangered. Illustrious buildings testify to our finest human hours. They should be celebrated, not bulldozed to make way for cardboard megaplexes. Need I say more?
Do you know what they plan to build on this spot after the theater is gone?
Oh, it's very hush-hush. The name of the building firm is Wave of the Future, and the owner is some B. Thompson, descendant of J.J. Thompson, but he's never available for comment. Fishy, right? $10 says B stands for baloney.
Catch you later.
Fight the power. What's up? Can't talk long. Gotta check on my people.
What's your attachment to saving this theater? You seem so personally invested.
Politics is personal, but with this place, it's ultra-personal. My grandma, Louisa Falcone, designed the molds for all the insane plasterwork that you see in this lobby and in the auditorium.
Wow, I can see why you would hate to let it be destroyed. After all, this artwork is her legacy.
True, but there's more. I guess the architect-owner guy, J.J. Thompson, ran out of cash before the building was done. He never paid my grandma dime one, and then he denied that she had ever done the work in the first place.
Didn't she fight it?
Yeah, she was the artist type, not a deal maker. I guess she'd never signed any contractual stuff with JJ, and she didn't have the resources to sue him or any of that, so I guess she just had to let it go.
She must have been so frustrated.
Here's the kicker. After JJ sharked her on this 2-year project, she was broke, and then the Great Depression hit. She could never afford to work as an artist again.
What did she do instead?
Louisa, Mother Serenity Falcone? She just kept on trucking in true Falcone style. Died at 97 without a bitter bone in her body. I think she had a happy life. But this theater holds the last artwork she ever did. Don't you see, Nancy? Saving this place is not just for history. It's for justice.
Can't you get some justice now?
My family has been trying for years, but there doesn't seem to be anything on record that links her to this place. Nancy, could you do me a favor?
Maybe there's something buried in the theater.
While you're searching, could you just keep your eye out?
If I run across the name Louisa Falcone or anything else that might help, you'll be the first to know.
You're cooler than I thought, Nancy.
I try to play it down.
You must be Nancy. The worry's written all over your face. Well, I'm Joe. I started to look for you, but then I figured better to park myself and let you find me. Any trace of your friend?
Not a trace, and the dressing room is in ship shape. If I hadn't heard her scream, I'd think she had just disappeared in a puff of smoke.
What about calling the police? There's an outside line in the ticket booth.
Thanks, but I already tried that. Standard procedure says I'm on my own for the next 24 hours.
Standard procedure?
I mean, I understand the police can't go chasing after every kid who gets lost at the mall, but this is different.
But this theater's going to be torn down in 3 days. Did you tell them that?
They say it's unlikely that the kidnapper would keep her in the building.
Well, I checked all the outside doors, and they're locked up tight. Only folks who've been in the theater all day are Brady and Simone, you and Maya, Nicholas Falcone, and myself.
You're suggesting it must be one of these people?
Well, I've only got this one pair of eyes, so I can't say 100%.
Did you notice anything suspicious?
I was up here in the projector room, sound testing for the premiere. But I'd be disappointed in your detective work if you didn't put me through the ringer like a regular suspect.
Sound testing. Yeah, I think I remember hearing you practicing your MC voice now that you mention it.
I reckon if the kidnapper wants the demolition stopped, they must be keeping Maya somewhere in the building.
Right, I agree. That's why I'm going to turn this theater inside out until I find her.
That's the spirit. Now, what's your plan of attack?
Time to start searching. Can you give me a map or some blueprints of this place?
Try calling county administration. The records division keeps that type of stuff. I bet a blueprint would show secret passages that even I've never found. Ask for the original plans, not the ones from the '56 remodel.
When was the theater built?
Completed in 1925. The vision of one J.J. Thompson. Anyway, I've spent the last 40-something years finding my way around this place, so let me know if I can help.
Thanks, Joseph.
Don't let the turkeys get you down. Hi, Nancy.
So where will you go after the demolition? Are you planning to retire?
Greasewood, Arizona. My brother Jake is there. It's a tiny town with no movie theater, so we're going to put one on the map. I got some money saved.
Who is this J.J. Thompson character anyway?
Old J.J. owner, visionary, wheeler dealer. JJ loved a magic show. He had this place built with those kind of big spectacle shows in mind. JJ also happened to love the sight of his own mug in the mirror. You can tell by the way he ornamented the auditorium with his own head.
The history of this theater is so rich. I'm surprised the city of St. Louis isn't more interested in preserving it.
Well, they are interested. The Historical Society's been working like the dickens to get this place declared a landmark. But someone downtown has been stalling. They're awfully close.
Gotta go now.
Bye.
This one's missing. I can't quite reach. County Administration, 314-555-3309.
We're sorry, your call cannot be completed as dialed. Please check the number and dial again. This is a recording.
Records, Madeline speaking. Hi, I'm looking for the blueprints for the Rojal Palladium Theater. Do you have them on file?
Are you a county employee?
No, just a citizen on a mission.
Okay, well, we do keep blueprints on file. Let's see. The computer says there are 2 sets for the Palladium, 1923 and 1956. Do you have a preference?
1923, please. The originals.
Would you like to hold while I retrieve them?
Sure, thanks.
Ma'am?
Yes, I'm still here.
It's very strange, ma'am. They're gone.
Gone? You mean someone checked them out?
Oh, we don't allow people to check them out. You can bring the blueprints to our reading room and study them there, but they're not supposed to leave the building. I can't imagine where they could be. Hold on, let me see if Charles knows. Ma'am, this is so strange. Charles says some guy was just in here looking at them a few days ago.
What did he look like?
Hold on. Hello? Charles said the guy had a hat on. He never really got a look at the guy.
Was he young or old?
Hey, Charles, young or old? Energetic is all Charles remembers.
Okay, well, my name is Nэнsi Дрю. I'm working on some things over here at the Rojal Palladium. Could you do a search for the blueprints?
Sure thing. I'll put in a find request. Call back in 5 to 7 business days.
Next week? Oh, I'm afraid I don't have that kind of time. Is there any way to expedite the search?
I'm afraid not. The guy who does our misplaced materials searches just returned from a month of paternity leave, and he's swamped.
I see.
This is urgent?
Yes, it's urgent, all right. But I'll figure something out. Thanks, Madeline.
Good luck.
Bye.
Nэнsi Дрю, Simone Mueller. Don't worry, Vanishing Destiny is off. We've got bigger fish to fry.
So you heard about Maya?
Of course. I mean, a kidnapping? Right out of my star's dressing room? The premiere is small potatoes. It's worth more to us canceled or at least postponed. When the news gets out, the whole nation will be watching.
I don't think we should get the press into this before the police have had a chance to investigate.
Where are you from?
River Heights. Why?
Yes, precisely. River Heights. Listen, doll, I'm from L.A. This ain't my first time at the rodeo. We'll find your friend, or Bрэdi Armstronga will, and when he does, every girl in America will wish she'd been kidnapped instead of Maya what's-her-name.
This theater is going to be demolished in 3 days. Bрэdi can help search if he wants, but I'm not going to sit back and wait for him to save the day.
Honey, you've got spunk. Ever consider acting? This girl power thing is red hot right now. Of course, we'd have to think of a stage name. Nэнsi Дрю is so utterly forgettable.
How long have you been Bрэdi's agent?
I discovered him on an electric spring morning 6 years ago. He was working the original Coney Dog stand on Sunset Boulevard. It was pure luck. I was craving an all-beef frank at 7 a.m. He's been the jewel in my crown ever since.
Joseph says the building was probably locked when the kidnapping happened, and that the kidnapper had to be someone who was inside the theater. Care to comment?
Why don't you tell that little gray troll that I think he did it, just to keep himself from dying of boredom in this old dump. That's my comment.
I'm asking everyone, where were you when the kidnapping happened?
Oh, please, Nancy, I was on the phone, doing business. But if I'm ever hard-pressed for entertainment, I'm sure kidnapping would be a real hoot.
I think your phone's about to ring.
Bye now.
Ladies and gentlemen, step right up! Ha ha! Find the ace of spades. Keep your eye on the card. Ooh, I'm sorry. Perhaps you need your eyes checked. The hand is quicker than the eye. Find the ace of spades. Keep your eye on the card. Congratulations! You beat the magician. Don't forget to collect your winnings!
Your audience will be dazzled.
Ladies and gentlemen, step right up.
Something's missing here.
How goes the search?
I found some of JJ's personal documents inside a secret panel in the basement.
Well, don't just stand there. Start breaking it down.
Did you ever hear about a challenge that JJ Thompson issued to Harry Houdini back in 1925?
Yeah, and?
JJ put up a big reward for this Houdini challenge. He must have thought the escape was impossible, but Houdini did it, and JJ didn't have the reward money.
What does this have to do with the ownership of the theater?
From what I can tell, JJ had to give Harry Houdini 50% of the theater as the reward.
Ha! Serves that swindler J.J. right. Nancy, do you realize what this means?
I'm working on a couple of theories.
If Thompson didn't own the whole place, then whoever inherited it from Thompson doesn't legally own the whole place either.
Someone in Houdini's family may be able to call this demolition off.
We've got to find out what happened to his half of the ownership. You keep looking for Maya. I've got a laptop out in my van. I'll get online and do some research. Check back soon.
Catch you later.
Fight the power.
Nancy, it's Joseph. Wait till you see this. Come to the projection room. Nancy, take a look at this.
Oh my gosh, Maya's press pass.
Brady found it.
Found it? Where?
He didn't say. Give the police a call, and then you better go back to your hotel and get some rest.
Just when I have a lead? No way! I've got to keep searching.
You won't be any help to Maya if you get too tired to think.
Well, I guess you have a point there.
Go ahead and use the phone in the ticket booth. I'll be down in a minute.
St. Louis Police Department.
Missing Persons Unit, please.
Please hold. Missing persons, this is Ramsey.
Hi, Sergeant Ramsey. This is Nэнsi Дрю. I spoke to you earlier today about the disappearance of my friend, Майя Уэн.
Hello, Miss Дрю. You're calling to tell me that you found your friend, I hope.
I wish that were true, sir. No, she's still missing. I'm calling to report that I have the evidence you asked for.
What did you find?
Someone else here at the theater found Maya's press pass. It was clipped to her shirt when she went into the dressing room. It must have been torn off when she was kidnapped.
Or it fell off. Or she just tossed it.
Maya is very serious about her work, Sergeant Ramsey. She never goes anywhere without that pass, and she would not willingly leave it behind.
Is the pass damaged in any way?
No.
Was anything disturbed in the area where it was found?
I don't know. I'm not the one who found it.
Okay, well, thanks for checking in, Miss Дрю. If Maya hasn't turned up by tomorrow, we'll definitely be out to investigate. Someone will take a look at the press pass then.
But you said that if I found evidence, you'd investigate the theater today.
I'm sorry, Miss Дрю, but we can't go chasing after every kid who decides to take a leave of absence. The vast majority of missing juveniles disappear of their own accord, and they reappear when they're good and ready.
You have to believe me. Maya would never play this kind of game. Nicholas Falcone said he thinks somebody is using her to make a statement.
Nicholas Falcone? Is he involved in this? Are you involved with him?
Haddad is demonstrating against the demolition in front of the theater. Nicholas has set up shop in the lobby. I've spoken to him. I'm not involved with him.
Are you aware of the allegations against Mr. Falcone's character, Miss Дрю?
Allegations?
Nick Falcone operates according to his own rules. He'll do just about anything to save a theater, and he's not afraid to use extreme tactics.
What kind of extreme tactics?
You name it. Vandalism, sabotage, chaining himself to demolition machinery.
Is that right?
And last year there was a situation over in Nashville. Just when the oldest theater in the city is about to be torn down, and mind you, Haddad is there in full force, a girl goes missing. So happens she's the daughter of the demolition boss. They go crazy looking for her. There's a call, just like the one you described. Anyway, to make a long story short, the demolition is called off, and 3 weeks later the girl is seen snuggling up to Falcone in a Memphis coffee shop.
Are you suggesting Nicholas is staging this thing?
I'm just saying that there's more to situations like these than meets the eye. Nick Falcone is a real operator and he likes to humiliate the police. I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon here with this whole Rojal Palladium thing and let him make my unit look like a bunch of chumps.
I see.
So you aren't going to have any credit with us if you join ranks with him.
Does he have a criminal record?
Oh, minor stuff. Disorderly conduct, trespassing, yada yada yada. But Nick Falcone can slime his way out of a sticky situation like no one I've ever seen. Unfortunately, there's no jail sentence for being a royal pain in the neck.
There are no good citizenship awards for it either.
Look, I know you're worried, but for now, there's nothing we can do. And there's nothing you can do either. Why don't you go home and get some rest? I'm sure you've had a long day.
Well, this has been very informative, Sergeant Ramsey. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Good night, Miss Drew.
Hello?
Hi, Bess. It's Nancy.
Nancy, it's about time. How's St. Louis?
Something terrible has happened. Maya went to Brady's dressing room to interview him. I guess he wasn't there. She screamed, and now she's gone. I think she's been kidnapped.
Oh my gosh. Why would anyone want to kidnap Maya?
I received a threatening phone call. Somebody wants desperately to stop this demolition, and they're holding Maya as a bargaining tool.
That's terrible. Have you called the police?
I called, all right, but get this. According to standard procedure, they can't get involved until Maya has been missing for 24 hours.
What could possibly be standard about a girl getting kidnapped?
They're not convinced it's a kidnapping.
Well, how did she disappear then? Poof? Alakazam?
Sergeant Ramsey says it could be a prank, or Maya might have just taken off or something.
Sergeant Ramsey obviously doesn't know Wash U's most dedicated reporter.
It's true. The only way she would have abandoned this story is if someone dragged her away from it.
Do Maya's parents know?
They always travel this time of year, remember? And besides, I've got to find Maya before this demolition. I doubt her parents could get back from the other side of the world before then anyway.
What a mess.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been so personally attached to a case.
Call me back when you know more. I'll get a hold of George and Ned and let them know what's going on. Poor Maya. I guess the only consolation is that she's got you on the rescue mission.
Hello?
Ned, it's me.
Nancy. Bess called and told me what happened with Maya. I've been worried sick.
Did she tell you what the police said?
About the 24-hour delay? Yeah, she told me. But I have faith in you, Nancy. You've solved plenty of cases before without help from the police. So let's get down to business. Who are your suspects?
It seems there were only 4 people in the building at the time of the kidnapping, besides Maya and myself. Bрэdi Armstronga, Simone Mueller, his agent, Nicholas Falcone, a political activist, and the caretaker, Joseph Hughes.
Any hunches?
Not yet. I've got a lot of work to do.
Call me anytime. I'll try to stay close to the phone.
By the time I finally got to talk to Simone Mueller, she had heard all about the kidnapping and canceled the premiere of Vanishing Destiny.
Sounds like bad news travels fast around old theaters.
That's just the thing. Simone didn't seem to think Maya's kidnapping was bad news at all. She kept calling it a great opportunity. She kept saying what fabulous publicity it's going to be for Bрэdi.
Sounds like she knows how to turn a profit in any situation.
The question is she just responding to the situation, or did she have a hand in creating it in the first place?
No flies on you, Nэнsi Дрю. Sounds to me like your detective mind is in high gear.
Harry Houdini must have been quite a character.
What makes you say that?
Oh, it just sounds like he was so generous and passionate about his craft. Everyone loved him.
Any theories yet on what he did with his half of the theater?
No, but I highly doubt he was generous enough to give his half back to old J.J. Thompson.
That wouldn't have been an act of generosity anyway. It would have been a lapse in judgment.
I've got to think of a way to get this demolition stopped.
Well, the police aren't being much help. But couldn't you try contacting the owner of the building? I'm sure he or she would be willing to postpone for a couple of days. I mean, what's the rush?
According to Nicholas, his name is B. Thompson, and he won't talk to the press.
I wonder what he has to hide.
His building firm is called Wave of the Future.
Catchy. I wonder what he has against the present.
Ned, I just remembered something. Joseph used the phrase wave of the future when I first met him. He was talking about the remodel of the theater in 1956. Do you think it's a coincidence?
I don't know, Nance. If Joseph turns out to be the owner of the theater and the guy behind the demolition, I think it'll be fair to say you've seen everything.
I'm trying to decide what to do next. Any thoughts?
Start questioning your suspects. See if they've got credible alibis.
Bye, Ned.
Be careful.
I heard the whole thing, Nancy. Go get some sleep. I'll keep an eye on things till morning. I'm sorry you had to see that wreath, Nancy. It's disgusting.
I'm afraid Maya's in real danger.
Let's hope the kidnapper just did this to scare you.
It's just strange. I mean, why would the kidnapper go to the trouble to have that thing arranged and delivered here?
The phone's been ringing off the hook all morning. I don't know how the press got a hold of this, but they're all over it like ants on a picnic.
Where did those missing posters come from?
I can't say for sure, but I can make an educated guess.
Are you thinking of a certain Hollywood agent we know?
Can you believe the way she diverted all of the attention away from Maya and used the poster to promote Brady as the big hero? This shouldn't be happening. It's all backwards.
Tell me about that old key-making machine in the lobby. Has it been out of order long?
It's been broken for a spell. The kids lost interest in it when video games came along. But I bet it wouldn't be hard to fix. I'd love for you to see how it works, and then you could make yourself a little souvenir from the Rojal Palladium, or send a key to your sweetheart.
The police told me Nicholas Falcone is known for using extreme tactics to further his political causes. Why are you letting him use the lobby as his headquarters?
Nicholas has been hanging around this theater since he was a little boy. I know how torn up he is about the theater. This will be over soon enough, and then he'll go home. I don't think he's dangerous, for gosh sakes.
Gotta go now.
Chin up!
Nancy, what's the 411?
You didn't tell me kidnapping was part of Activism 101.
That's all hearsay, Nancy. They got no witnesses, no testimony, no nothing.
So you have or have not used kidnapping to further your causes in the past?
I am not an eco-terrorist, and I would never orchestrate the temporary disappearance of anyone who wasn't in on the plan and down with the cause.
Maybe you'd better think about being in on the law and down with the truth, Nicholas.
All right, Officer Nancy, chill out, will ya? I'm on your side.
Tell me about your relationship with the police.
All I know is they like to dig through my garbage and follow my van. Does this face say America's Most Wanted to you?
I'm asking everyone, where were you when the kidnapping happened?
I was outside, harnessing public outrage. Ask anyone.
Joseph told me that the St. Louis Historical Society is in the process of trying to declare this building an historical landmark.
They've been in that process for years. It's all just a big wad of red tape, a bunch of bureaucratic hocus pocus. It's about action, not paperwork.
Catch you later.
On the flip side, I got the number. I left it in the ticket booth. This woman isn't a Houdini herself. She's the widow of one of Houdini's cousins.
But it couldn't hurt to give her a call. I'll get right on that.
Yes, hello.
Hello, is this Eustacia Andropov?
Who else would it be? Everyone else is dead.
Oh, Mrs. Andropov, I'm sorry to bother you. I'm trying to find out some information about Harry Houdini. Is it true that you're his cousin?
Who wants to know?
Oh, I beg your pardon. My name is Nэнsi Дрю. I'm a detective working on a case in St. Louis.
Harry was only my cousin by marriage, but my husband is dead, and so is Harry. So I guess that makes me nobody's cousin. Satisfied?
I'm researching Mr. Houdini's ownership of the Rojal Palladium Theater. Would you know anything about this?
He owned it. Half of it anyway, for a few months. Then he died. Does that help?
Do you know what happened to his half? Did he sign it back over to J.J. Thompson?
Return it to James Jehoshaphat? Mr. Stupendous? Not on his life. Losing that man was Harry's greatest escape.
Did someone in Houdini's family inherit the theater?
Harry made a plan to give his half of the theater to someone he admired. A young magician, I assume. Perhaps a protege. I remember my husband telling me this.
Can you tell me anything more?
More? I'm 96 over here. I don't exactly have time to burn.
I know it was a long time ago, Mrs. Andropov, but this is terribly important. My friend is in danger, and finding out what happened to Houdini's half of the theater may be my only hope of saving her.
Call the Library of Congress. Ask about the Houdini collection. There must be something in all of those letters. You tell that Sherman Trout, Eustacia said. You're not dead yet, Shermy, so get up and make yourself useful.
The Library of Congress. You don't happen to have that number, do you?
Well, I should have this letter from Shermy around here somewhere. Cat food coupons. Vincent Jacozzi repair. Dear Eustacia. Here we go. Library of Congress, Washington, D.C. 202-555-5000.
Thanks, Mrs. Andropov. You've been a great help.
Save it for my funeral.
Manuscripts.
I'm trying to reach Sherman Trout, please.
Speaking. How may I help you?
Hi, Mr. Trout. My name is Nэнsi Дрю.
I'm a detective working on a case that involves Harry Houdini and the Rojal Palladium Theater in St. Louis. Eustacia Andropov recommended I call you.
Ah, yes. Eustacia was most helpful to us when we were assembling our Houdini collection. I presume you'd like to have a look at it?
Yes, please, Mr. Trout. I'm very interested.
Fine. Well, you'll just need to register with the library when you get here and fill out a request for the materials you wish to view. When your request has been processed, the materials will be delivered to one of our reading rooms where you can view them.
Mr. Trout, please let me explain. Unfortunately, there's no way for me to come to Washington, D.C. to do research. I'm hoping you could help me find a document.
Well, Miss Drew, I'm sorry if you have logistical constraints, but please understand my own limitations. The Library of Congress currently holds over 40 million items, contained in 10,000 separate collections. It's the largest and most comprehensive library in the world. I simply don't have time to run research errands for the individual citizens.
Mr. Trout, if I don't solve this case in a matter of hours, the building I'm standing in will be demolished and an innocent 19-year-old girl, a friend of mine, may lose her life. You may be my only hope.
Why is your friend in danger?
She was kidnapped by someone desperate to save this building from demolition.
And what can you possibly be hoping to find in the Houdini collection that would help matters?
Mr. Houdini was part owner of the theater, and I'm trying to find out who inherited his half or what became of it when he died. I'm hoping Houdini might have discussed it somewhere in his personal documents. If I can prove that the current owner is not legally the full owner, then maybe I can get the demolition stopped and save Maya.
I see. Well, this sounds urgent. I suppose I can take a look.
That would be such a help, Mr. Trout. If you find anything, could you overnight it to me at the Rojal Palladium?
Well, I certainly can't send you the document itself. It's a historical artifact now. But I could send you a slide. What's the street address there, if I find anything?
It's 1330 Washington Avenue, St. Louis, Missouri, 63101. Please send the package in care of Nicholas Falcone or myself, Nэнsi Дрю. I can't tell you how grateful I am, Mr. Trout. You might just be a lifesaver.
Miss Drew, I assure you, Sherman Trout is a man of his word.
Thanks so much. Bye.
Did you call? What's the story?
Sure did.
Go on, spill it.
She didn't know much, but she gave me the number of this guy at the Library of Congress who has access to the archives of Houdini's letters.
And what did they say?
Sherman Trout is on our side. Keep your eyes peeled for a special delivery.
Way to go, Nancy! You're on fire!
Catch you later.
Fight the power.
Have you seen the posters? Aren't they fabulous?
That picture of Maya is the one from her press pass, isn't it?
Yes. Thankfully, she's photogenic.
That poster is just an advertisement for Brady.
Maya's on the poster. It says she's missing. So what's your issue? Brady's out plastering those posters all over St. Louis and every podunk town for 50 miles. He's due back at any time, though, for the press conference.
Press conference?
I've invited the press here today to report on Brady's commitment to solving this case. You know, a few questions, a few photo ops, no big deal. That funeral wreath was awful, wasn't it?
You saw the wreath? Where is it now?
I had it moved out front for the press conference. We want the press to know just how heartless this kidnapper is, don't we? Then it's all the more fabulous when Brady saves the day.
I think your phone's about to ring.
Love ya. On your stage name? I'm thinking Samantha Quick. You love it, right?
I think your phone's about to ring.
Ciao.
Hola.
Can you believe Brady's agent has called this press conference to trump up his heroics? She can barely even remember Maya's name.
Don't worry, Nancy. This cowboy will be on the scene with a megaphone in each holster. I guarantee you the press will get more than they bargained for.
Catch you later.
Fight the power.
How are you holding up?
Thanks for finding Maya's press pass. Where was it?
I found it in the basement. The balcony. It was the balcony.
Great job on the posters, too. You market yourself like a real pro.
Please, Nancy. It's not me.
Oh, really? Is somebody operating you by remote control?
It's Simone. She's relentless. I'm just a hostage on her runaway bus.
That's funny. I don't see any gun to your head, just a wad of money dangling in front of your nose.
It's more complicated than you think. Listen, I've got to get ready for this press conference. I'll talk to you later.
How about Fancy Jackson? It's a little disco, but I think you could pull it off.
Brady seems uncomfortable with some of your, tactics.
Oh, he's just whining because I made him chop off his ponytail. I don't know what's gotten into him with this free will thing. I told him, you can't even dress yourself, kid, but if you want your blockbuster career to crash and burn, go ahead, manage yourself.
I think your phone's about to ring.
Ciao.
Okay, folks, we're about to get started here. Mrs. Mueller, Mr. Armstrong will do their best to answer all of your questions in the time allotted. But let's proceed with good manners, shall we?
Thank you, all, for coming. I'm only sorry that the circumstances of our meeting are not more festive. Wouldn't it be nice if we were all gathered here today to revel in the blockbuster success of Bрэdi Armstrong's new movie, Vanishing Destiny? Wouldn't we all prefer to turn our attention to record ticket sales and the squeals of delighted fans across the nation? But, alas, we have come together today over tragedy, not triumph. I've called this conference specifically to let you know, and I trust you will take it upon yourselves to inform the world, that Bрэdi Armstrong will not rest. The greatest performance of his career will not be unveiled until Maya Nguyen.
Hey, lady, you're breaking my heart. But isn't her name Maya Uэн?
Until Maya Uэн is returned to her friends and family, safe and sound. Already, our real-life hero has searched this theater and uncovered important evidence. Already, he has driven 200 miles in a rent-a-car, no less, distributing missing posters to all the outer-lying regions of this great city. You see, Bрэdi Armstrong is a hero and a regular guy, all rolled into one.
Ooh, I'm swooning.
Put a sock in it, Mr. Camouflage. And now, without further ado, I'd like to open the floor up to questions.
Is it true that the girl was at the theater to interview Bрэdi Armstronga? What was the interview about?
Mr. Charmstrong, do you find your fans respond to you more in your chicken suit or in your curly wig?
Did anyone hear her scream?
Ms. Mueller, you're his agent. Chicken suit or curly wig?
Any speculation of where the kidnapper's hiding her? Where did this funeral wreath come from?
Isn't it a little unusual for a movie star to help with a kidnapping like this?
People, one at a time. Bрэdi.
Well, with all of my experience on the silver screen, I feel well prepared to save the day in St. Louis.
Do you think the kidnapper is violent?
Mr. Charmstrong, have you ever thought about growing a mustache? It might really distinguish you.
Is it true you're offering a reward for the facts leading to Maya's return?
That's right. Autographed movie posters for anyone and everyone who comes forward with a decent lead.
Yes, is it true that that Detective Nэнsi Дрю is on the case?
Yes, Nэнsi Дрю is investigating.
Is she available for comment?
It's a difficult situation. You see, Maya is a friend of Nancy's, and the personal connection, well, it may be clouding the detective's judgment. She's really on edge.
Isn't anybody around here concerned about the welfare of this magnificent theater? There's more than one life at stake today, you know. Okay, I'm sorry. Hey, press people, over here. If you want the real story, talk to me. Sorry, Miss Mueller, you'll have your photo op in a moment. Yeah, over here, down by my van.
Get smart, Nэнsi Дрю. You're wasting precious time. Stop the demolition or you'll never see her again.
Hello? Hello? These pieces won't budge. Help! Is anybody out there?
Who's there?
It's Nancy.
Nancy? For goodness sakes. What are you doing down there? This chair seems to be stuck. Hold on, I'm greasing the wheels here.
I found a secret room under the stage. I've got to check it out.
The magician's room. I swear, Nancy, as long as I've worked here, I've never been able to find my way in there.
I found the door, but the pieces that open the door are stuck.
Here, try this. Hurry.
This should loosen things up. Rubber is shockproof. She was just here. Her shoe. The gate is electrified.
Oh, Nancy! Hey!
I think the kidnapper just moved Maya to a new hiding place. Have you seen anything suspicious around here?
Wow, are you sure? I didn't see anything.
I found evidence that will prove that Maya's being held in this building.
Wow! Evidence. Where?
I'll talk to you later. I've got to get a hold of Sergeant Ramsey.
St. Louis Police Department.
Missing Persons Unit, please.
Please hold. Missing persons, this is Ramsey.
Sergeant Ramsey, it's Nэнsi Дрю.
Hi, Miss Drew.
I found Maya.
You found her? So the case is closed.
I found her, and then she disappeared again.
Good grief. This girl's a regular Houdini. All right. What have you got for me?
I found a secret room under the stage. I saw Maya through a peephole, but by the time I got into the room, she was gone. The kidnapper must have moved her.
A peephole, huh? Are you sure you saw her?
Sir, there's evidence. Pizza boxes and one of Maya's shoes. I left everything where it was so you could see for yourself.
So you think the kidnapper's been using this secret room as a base camp? Well, this is very interesting, Miss Drew. It sounds like you've been conducting quite a search.
Now will you please send someone over to investigate?
Yep. Just bear with me while I try to find an available car. Help is on the way, Miss Drew.
Great. Bye.
How's progress?
I saw those pictures you took of Brady posing with Maya's press pass all over the theater. What do you think you're doing?
Well, in that instance, I was trying to find the best light to show off my star's fabulous cheekbones. Was that so wrong?
Stop playing games with me, Simone. Where's Maya?
I don't know what you're talking about, Sugar. Listen, the pressure must really be getting to you. I know a top-notch aromatherapist in town, okay? I'll give you her number.
Come on, Simone. Ginger's 24-hour flower-rama? I believe you've been caught red-handed.
You broke into my personal property? I could have you arrested for that.
It's just business, Simone. You do what agents do, I do what detectives do. I'm sure you can appreciate that.
All right, I sent the stupid wreath, but I'm no kidnapper. I needed something for the cameras, didn't I? And it was a very tasteful arrangement. Should have been for $300. Perhaps I went a little overboard.
A little overboard? You're dreaming if you think that's enough to get you off my suspect list.
How are you holding up?
Don't you want to know what Maya's article was about?
Well, I thought you said it was about me.
Well, Brady, you are the center of the universe, but actually, her article was about the theater.
Then what did she want to talk to me for? I'm an actor, not a politician.
She never told me what her angle was. I'm asking everyone, where were you when the kidnapping happened?
Me? You think I kidnapped Maya and then breezed in here just 4 minutes later? Where would I hide her? In my back pocket?
Okay, but where were you?
Well, I was late getting back from a haircut. This is hard for me. I think my hairline might be receding. It's miserable. Simone's gonna go through the roof.
Do you mind if I take a look around in here?
Be my guest.
Talk to you later, Brady.
Bye.
Hi, Nancy. What happened?
The kidnapper's been holding Maya in that magician's room under the stage.
You found her? Oh, that's great. Where is she now?
Would you believe she's disappeared again?
Are you sure you didn't just imagine you saw her?
I think the kidnapper moved her, but they left some evidence behind.
Evidence? That should interest the police. Have you called them?
Yeah, they said they'll come check it out, but they may not be able to get here for a while.
I'll wait up for the police. You get some rest, Nancy. You're gonna need it for tomorrow.
Make sure they check that magician's secret room.
Can you believe this ransom demand coming out of thin air?
Did they get any information on the call?
Apparently, the call came from north of here, a town called Granite City. Personally, I think it's a hoax, but now the police are convinced that Maya's not in this building.
But what about the evidence I found?
Are you sure the pizza boxes were in that magician's room? Because the police couldn't find anything.
What do you mean they couldn't find anything?
They searched the whole building.
Somebody must have moved the evidence. That's the only explanation.
Follow your gut, Nancy. If you think Maya's still here, you keep looking for her, you hear?
I was backstage earlier, and one of the stage lights came crashing down. It almost hit me.
Oh, Nancy, thank goodness you're okay.
I got another threat from the kidnapper. That creepy voice came on the PA and told me to stop searching for Maya.
The projection room? But who? Someone must have ducked out of the press conference. I was so busy with crowd control, I didn't even notice.
Joseph, I did some checking. You don't really have any family in Greasewood, do you?
Now, what you want to go digging into an old man's life for, Nancy?
everyone's a suspect, Joseph. You know that. If you have nowhere to go after the theater comes down, then maybe you're the kidnapper desperado. It's not so far-fetched, is it?
Now. I am going to Greasewood, and I'm not desperate. I made up the part about my brother so you wouldn't feel sorry for me. You've got enough to worry about, don't you?
It's only a matter of hours until the demolition. How are you holding up, Joseph?
Oh, fine. Everything's great. Fine. I was up till the wee hours polishing up the lobby. Heck, I'm even fixing to repair the old keymaker so you can give it a whirl. Guess old habits die hard, eh?
Gotta go now.
Don't let the turkeys get you down.
How's progress?
Have you heard about this ransom demand?
50 grand, what a joke. Isn't it just like a rank amateur to jump on the bandwagon? Anyone with a pinch of class would have demanded at least $1 million.
I think your phone's about to ring.
Bye now.
What are you doing hanging out with that Falcone jerk?
I'm not hanging out with him, Brady. I'm conducting a search here, and I'll take any tip I can get.
That guy's bad news, and he's certainly not going to help your credibility with the police.
Thanks, Brady, but I've got everything under control.
Just trying to help.
Talk to you later, Brady.
Cool beans.
Hola!
Catch you later.
Fight the power.
It's me again.
Hi, Nancy. I've got George here, too.
Bess filled me in, Nancy. Any developments?
I'm just searching the theater, questioning suspects.
And?
I asked Joseph where he would go after the theater is demolished, and he said he was moving to Arizona to start a movie theater with his brother.
A fresh start. Good for him.
Yeah, except that I found a letter that says his brother has been dead for years.
Why would he lie? What do you think he's hiding?
Give the guy a break. Maybe he just wants to hide the fact that his life is going to be empty without that theater to look after.
I took Joseph's advice and called county administration to see about the blueprints for the theater.
He sounds like a big help.
Yes, but the woman on the phone said that the blueprints are missing.
Official records? Missing?
She said that a man was in last week looking at them, but they haven't been seen since.
The kidnapper?
Or a certain smoldering sidekick?
Well, whoever it was, they must have taken the blueprints with them. how on earth am I going to find all the secret rooms and passages in this place now?
I'm not worried, Nancy.
Me neither.
You could probably find a secret passage in a paper bag.
Are you kidding, George? Nancy could find a secret passage in a blueberry muffin.
When I spoke to the police about Maya's press pass, they said that Nicholas is known for using extreme tactics, and that he might even have been involved in a staged kidnapping last year in Nashville.
You don't think Maya could be mixed up with him somehow, do you?
No way. Maya expresses her politics by writing about them. You know, the pen is mightier than the sword. She and Nicholas Falcone don't even speak the same language.
I think you're right, George. But Sergeant Ramsey said I wouldn't have any credit with the police if I joined forces with Nicholas.
Who said anything about joining forces? After all, he's still a prime suspect. But that doesn't mean he's not a valuable source of information when it comes to the theater.
She's right, Nancy. As long as he continues to shoot off his mouth, you want to be around to take notes.
I think Simone Mueller would do just about anything for publicity.
You know what they say? There's no such thing as bad publicity.
Even for a kidnapping?
It's like Hollywood has taken over her brain. I'm practically in tears over Maya, and she's trying to dream up a stage name for me.
A stage name?
Not just any stage name either. Would you believe Fancy Jackson?
Ooh, Nancy, that's kind of disco.
I bet she could pull it off.
This is serious, you guys. Do you really think she would kidnap Maya just so Brady could pretend to save her?
In her line of work, Nancy,
anything's possible.
Brady said Simone wants him to appear wholesomely smoldering to his public. What in the world do you think that means?
Well, wholesome makes me think of apple pie.
And to smolder, according to my trusty dictionary, is to burn slowly from the inside, without flame.
So, he's a sweetie pie on the outside, but too hot to touch.
Oh, did you have to bring this up with Bess here, Nancy?
It seems like the two things don't go together. One is safe, the other is dangerous.
Interesting. Maybe that's Brady's whole dilemma. He doesn't know whether he's a good guy or a bad guy.
Which is exactly why he can't be trusted.
I met Nicholas Falcone, the leader of Hadit. His organization is camped out in front of the theater, demonstrating against the demolition.
What's the deal with Hadit?
Nicholas says he's sworn to slay the dragon of corporate generica.
All in favor of men who slay dragons. Say aye.
Honestly, Bess, what are we going to do with you? Nancy, what in the world is generica?
I think it's a term for what this country would be like if suddenly it all looked the same.
Oh, you mean if it became generic? Like a bar of soap that's just called soap.
Right. Hadit believes that protecting historical buildings is key to preserving our national character.
That sounds noble.
Yeah, except he practically jumped for joy when I told him the kidnapper's motive is to save the theater.
Uh-oh. Sounds like you better keep an eye on him, Nancy.
Nicholas told me that his grandmother did a lot of the artwork inside the theater, but that J.J. Thompson, the original owner, never paid her or even gave her credit for it.
That's terrible.
I can see why he's so dedicated to saving the theater, then.
Yeah, I'd like to learn more about this J.J. Thompson.
Maybe you can help Nicholas get his grandmother the credit she deserved.
I told him I'd keep my eye out for anything that would prove her connection to this place.
I wonder if J.J. left any of his personal effects behind.
If he did, I'm sure they're gone now. His kids must have cleared the place out when they remodeled in 1956, a few years after he died. That's when it became a movie theater.
You never know, Nancy. If there's one thing your detective work proves every time, it's that old buildings are the keepers of old secrets.
Let's just hope this building lives long enough to tell.
I came across this old book that explains how to do a bunch of magic tricks.
Cool! Like pulling a rabbit out of a hat?
Like sawing my cousin Bess in half?
Nothing quite that sensational, ladies. But I did learn how to use a pencil to reveal a secret message.
Ooh, that could come in handy.
How does it work?
Well, if someone writes something, let's say it's a secret code, on a piece of paper, and they press hard with a pen, it will make an impression on a blank piece of paper underneath.
Yeah?
Then the magician applies a pencil to the seemingly blank piece of paper. With careful shading, the pencil will reveal the shapes of the numbers or letters in the code. Presto! Do you see?
That's pretty cool. I can only imagine what would happen if we applied the pencil to Bess. Just think of all the secret codes that would be revealed. Like Jacques, Rick, Brady. Oh, George, I'm not as impressionable as you think.
I received another threat. This time the kidnapper addressed me by name.
Another phone call? What was the threat?
This one came over the PA. Apparently, searching for Maya is a waste of time and I should focus on stopping the demolition, or else.
Well, Nancy, this kidnapper may have learned your name, but obviously they haven't figured out the first thing about who they're dealing with.
I just wish I could see the look on the kidnapper's face when you crack this case wide open.
Okay, you two. I'll talk to you soon.
Watch out for weird people!
Nickerson's Pizza Pies, what can I get you?
Well, hello there. I'd like a large pizza with a works.
Even anchovies, ma'am? I know you have issues with anchovies.
Extra anchovies.
Wow, Nancy. Things must be getting hairy if you're contemplating anchovies. What's up?
According to Joseph, the St-Louis Historical Society has been scrambling to get the Rojal Palladium declared an historical landmark.
And that would prevent the demolition?
Right.
So what's the holdup?
Joseph thinks someone downtown is stalling.
Maybe someone who wants the demolition has been greasing some palms.
Probably. It's a shame because Joseph seems to think they're close.
I wonder if this kidnapper is just trying to buy a little more time. What does Mr. Falcone have to say about the Historical Society?
It was pretty cynical. Said the whole process was a bunch of hocus pocus.
Perhaps Mr. Falcone is using cynicism to disguise his true feelings.
I can't understand how the police could have received a ransom call from Granite City. And why would the kidnappers suddenly demand cash without even mentioning the demolition?
Your skepticism is probably right on, Nancy.
You think?
Sure, after all, Brady did spread those missing posters over half of Missouri. There are always a few jokers who try to jump on the bandwagon in situations like these.
It just makes me sick to think that anyone would try to profit from such a terrible situation.
It's a mixed-up world, Nancy.
I confronted Simone about the receipt for the funeral wreath, and she claimed she just needed something for a photo shoot. Would you buy that?
That's a tough one, Nancy. In Simone's world, where everything is a photo shoot, her excuse sounds just twisted enough to be true.
But on the other hand...
You know me too well, Nэнsi Дрю. On the other hand, Simone's mind is just too devious and much too selfish to be believed.
I was backstage earlier, and I almost got hit by a falling stage light.
Not again, Nancy.
Yeah, who knew there were so many ways to get crushed in this life?
I'm glad you're okay. Do you think it was an accident?
I don't know. There was no one around the stage, so I guess we could chalk it up to the crumbling theater. But why did it suddenly fall when I was right there?
You've got me there, Detective.
I'm trying to decide what to do next. Any thoughts?
Maybe you should call the police and get the information straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak.
Bye, Ned.
Bye.
St. Louis Police Department.
Missing Persons Unit, please.
Please hold. Missing Persons, Ramsey here.
Sergeant Ramsey, what's going on?
I beg your pardon?
I'm sorry, but I'm very upset. This is Nэнsi Дрю. What do you mean there was no evidence?
I don't know what to tell you, Miss Дрю.
You searched the magician's room under the stage? Did Joseph Hughes show you where it was?
He showed us all right. We searched the whole theater, but our efforts were totally inconclusive. Wherever your friend is, she's not in the theater.
She's in the theater. I know she is. The kidnapper wants the demolition stopped, so what better leverage than to hold her in the theater?
Actually, you might be interested to know that we've had about a half a dozen calls here since last night. People are reporting seeing Maya north of here. And then this ransom call came this morning from Granite City. You'll be glad to know we're following up on all these leads.
I don't believe it.
Miss Дрю, I empathize. As a police officer, I know how emotional attachment to a case can cloud your judgment. Take it from me. It's time for you to let this one go and leave the case to the professionals. You're just not thinking clearly.
Sure, Sergeant Ramsey. Thanks for the advice.
Goodbye, dear.
Maya's notebook?
Hey, you.
The jig is up, Brady. Start talking.
Huh? I'm afraid you've lost me.
You've been lying to me, playing Mr. Helpful and Concerned all this time. I found her notebook in your bag.
I haven't done anything wrong.
I wonder if the police will agree with that.
Okay, Nancy, here's the deal. My real name is Brady Thompson. Simone pushed for Armstrong, more wholesomely smoldering, she said.
Yeah, so?
I'm Wave of the Future, Inc., the owner of this theater, great nephew of JJ himself.
But you're an actor. Why in the world would you want to bulldoze a theater?
The place is shabby. It needs major repairs. It's a money pit and a has-been. Not the image I want to project.
Is everything about image with you?
Never underestimate the power of image, Nancy. You are what you project.
And what is it that you wish to project?
When people think of Bрэди Armstrong, they think sparkling white teeth and healthy glow. Success glows. It doesn't crumble and sag. The hero never rides a has-been horse.
But what are you going to do with the site?
When I saw these ritzy theme restaurants popping up all over the country, it hit me like pow. My first original idea. Bрэdi Armstrong's Planet Tinseltown. Can't you see it on the marquee? Grand opening. The lights will say it all.
What does this have to do with Maya?
I've sworn to be the captain of my own destiny. Maya was going to expose me, muck up my name in this controversy. It would have been a dark cloud over the launch of Tinseltown.
And for that, she deserves to be kidnapped?
I didn't kidnap her. I found her notepad in the basement with the press pass. I just thought I'd hang on to it for a few days until the dust settles.
Now's your chance to do the right thing by calling off the demolition.
Sorry, Nancy. Look, you're not thinking clearly. It's obvious she's not in the building. We've searched everywhere.
She has to be in the building. I know she's here.
You're the only one who thinks she's here. There's no evidence.
Nicholas thinks she's in the building.
He's an outlaw, and he's using you.
There was evidence. I found a pizza box and one of her shoes.
Evidence that no one was able to verify. Who's to say you didn't imagine that stuff?
Joseph believes me.
He's a confused old codger. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got to rally a wrecking crew.
You can't do this!
Nancy, we could be golden! A package just came from that museum. We may have the goods to stop this demolition dead in its tracks. Check the ticket booth. Nancy, you've got to find out what's on that slide.
I'll talk to Joseph and see if he knows what the...
We can't wait for Joseph. He's probably roaming around saying goodbye to each and every doorknob. I heard they're about to start clearing out the building. You've got to hurry.
But the police are going to start clearing the building and...
I'll cover for you when the police come in. This is it, Nancy. Go!
Something's missing here. I should switch the power off. It's locked. It's locked.
Okay, officers, this is our final sweep. In a matter of minutes, this building will be nothing but a pile of rubble.
I'm so close. I just need a few more minutes.
See anything, Dino? All clear in here, Sarge. Testing. Testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. Is this thing on? Hello?
Another secret passageway.
Hey, Nancy, I've been looking for you.
Joseph, I thought you'd left the theater.
I've decided I need to get organized, Nancy. Tomorrow I'm really gonna straighten up in here.
But Joseph, there isn't going to be any tomorrow. Not for this theater, anyway.
I think a fresh coat of paint would really cheer things up, don't you?
Look, it's too late to save the theater now. I know you don't want to hurt Maya, or you wouldn't have kept encouraging me to find her.
Do you think the premiere will sell out?
snap out of it. Just tell me where Maya is.
Don't tell him she's here, Nancy. I'll take her away and knock down the theater.
They're gonna knock it down anyway. Please, we don't have much time.
Don't tell him, Nancy.
I'm locked in. I must have the key somewhere in my bag of tricks. It's locked. This one's useless. I can't believe this. Hang on, Maya. I'll get you out of there. Oh, this is useless. I've got to let them know we're up here.
Okay. Jimmy, is that ball ready to swing?
Not so fast, Detective.
Joseph, please let me past.
I can't let you do this, Nancy. Ah! That light!
Look! The marquee! Stop the demolition!
Dear Bess, I still can hardly believe that Joseph, sweet old Joseph, was Maya's kidnapper. He says he planned to kidnap Brady with the idea that Simone could use her Hollywood connections to save the theater. But when Maya entered the dressing room, he panicked and grabbed her instead. Plan B was to stall the demolition long enough for the Historical Society to declare the building an official landmark. I guess he's been at the Rojal Palladium for so long, he just couldn't imagine his life without it. But desperation aside, poor Joseph wasn't cut out for a life of crime, and pretty soon things were spinning out of his control. Simone's publicity stunts didn't help. At least he was courteous and kind to Maya through the whole thing. Her testimony should help him in court. The good news is that the Rojal Palladium is still standing. Once he heard that Nicholas would inherit his grandmother Louisa's 50% of the theater, Brady decided he'd better find another site for Planet Tinseltown. In order to make amends for things, and because he needed some good publicity, Brady donated his half of the theater to the St. Louis Historical Society. Together with Haddett, they should have this place restored to its original glory in no time. Not such a happy ending for Simone, I'm afraid. She received an official reprimand from the National Press Corps for her stunt with the wreath. Still, knowing Simone, she'll be back at the top of her game in no time. So, here ends the longest 3 days of my life. The premiere of Vanishing Destiny is back on, but I think this detective is going to wait for it to come out on videotape. Talk to you soon. Love, Nancy.